bay. Yeah. Don't see too many flown by commanders. I guess they're all at war. You're in their proper ships or with the fighter base. Whoa, hey. But I don't care if you laugh at the small hard points, cause they're bigger than you. And that's just how it goes again. I'm in a big ship, a little ship. It's my starship, it's pathetic. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, a little ship. It's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. So now I'm free, I'm texting all those girls who turn their noses up. I flew a smaller ship and I lost it all, okay. But in this capital we're based so full, I think they'll change their minds. I got a proper ship with a fighter bay, yeah, hey. But I don't care if they laugh at the small hard points, cause they're bigger than you. And I'm just how it goes. I'm in a big ship, so it's my starship. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, so yeah, it's my starship. A new commander's on his way. See you at the revive screen, boy. At the revive screen, boy. See you at the revive screen, boy. At the revive screen. So now I've got my floppy wings in tow. I'm heading to the res. I'll fight a bigger ship with a fighter bay and blow. But I don't care, cause in this new kill back, the comeback will be mine. I like to proper ship with a fighter bay. Whoa, hey. But I don't care if they laugh at the small hard point, cause I'm bigger than you. And I'm just how it goes. I'm in a big ship, solution. It's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, solution. It's like a starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. See you at the revive screen. See you at the revive screen, boy. See you at the revive screen, boy. At the revive screen. See you at the revive screen, boy. At the revive screen, boy. See you at the revive screen, boy. At the revive screen, boy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio,
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
the show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 491 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for today, we have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Howdy doody.
We have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Doody howdy.
And we have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello.
Hello. So, yes, if you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game. I do believe the Chris Mark IV will be around our usual table at Lave Station. What about you, Ben?
I believe Chris is hanging around the usual table. I feel the need to kill something, so I'm going to look at something to shoot at in my spaceship, I think.
Okay. But if you can't get to us in game, you can join us in the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live, or click on the live chat. Or you can go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, and also we're broadcasting live on YouTube at the same time. Ooh. Well, let's have a quick catch up with the crew, see what they've been up to this week. So we'll start with Alec. How have you been up to this week, sir?
I was just scribbling down my list of what I've been up to this week, but it's all right. Let me. I'll ad lib. Ironically, because last Saturday was the day that I probably put most effort in on last week's buckyball, although the Saturday before, I got a speeding ticket. Hooray! How hilarious is that? So the day that I was buckyballing, I also went buckyballing in my car and went 5 miles too fast in the 30 zone, and I have yet to find out what my naughty penalty is. Hopefully they don't shoot on sight like the police in Elite for speeding. Apparently I'm roboting.
A little bit.
What does the chat reckon? I'll plow on. I saved 700 quid. So we asked a local tradesman to make us side tables to go either side of our sofa, and he quoted us 390 quid per table. So I made them for 50.
Nice.
Yeah, good job, I thought. What else? Oh, I got myself a new iPad, which was quite exciting. My old iPad is very, very old. Its operating system is so old that half the apps won't work with it anymore, and it was getting slower and slower. I finally bit the bullet and bought a new iPad. It's great. I love it now, but I was horrified to discover it didn't have a headphone socket. Yes, I'm that old that I remember when iPads used to have headphone sockets. But it doesn't have one. Thanks, Apple. In game, what have I been doing? Oh, I know what I've been doing. I've been looking for planets that have what do we call them? Not leisure facilities, tourist economy settlements that are perma-day low gravity, which turns out you can just about search for in the Spanish research. Perma-day means it needs to be tidally locked, and it also needs to not be orbiting a body that isn't tidally locked. So it's a bit fiddly. But I found one, and I've created a lovely time trial on it, which is a nice 50-kilometer sort of speed dash to the pub. In the so you're 50 kilometers away, and then you have to dash to the pub, run inside, and salute the bartender. Something to that effect. So that's jolly good fun. And I'll probably be releasing that for ED Copilot after the show. In fact, probably.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my
Very nice. Okay then. Let's see, Claire.
Hi. What have I been up to? Hey. All I can see is demos in my periphery and all of that good stuff. It's Steam Next Fest started yesterday, and I've been playing demos as far as the eye can see. There's some gems in this Next Fest, absolute gems that we found that are definitely going to go. They've definitely gone on the wish list. But the problem is, the more I keep playing demos, the more I keep going through the list and adding more to the list. So my list went from 25 games that I want to play on the first day. I played 6, and my list went to 24. The math isn't mathing. And then before I started today, my list had gone up to 25. I've played 4, and my list is at 24 again. So it's tricky. I'm trying to stay away and not look at it. But my husband has a habit of just like flicking through it and then sending me one. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I would like to play that, please. So the list goes up. But there have genuinely been some games that have made me laugh out loud. There's some sci-fi stuff coming up really soon, like imminently, which is incredibly interesting and cool looking. Like imminent releases, which I'm excited about. There's loads of different genres, loads of story games, loads of stuff. Go and have a look at the Steam Next Fest and play some demos and see how you feel about them. It's a good time, because obviously if they're demos, they're free, but they do leave you wanting more. Yeah, it's been a good time. IRL, I don't know that I've been up to much this week. IRL, I've mostly been editing and editing aforementioned Steam Next Fest stuff. We haven't really been up to a huge amount. Went out in the sunshine and had some drinks with my mum at the weekend because it was her birthday. We tend to meet at like out of the way pub in somewhere in South Wales, which is about halfway between where I live and where she lives. So and we sat in the sunshine and had a couple of gins, and that was lovely. But really, that was about it. We had all of those announcements of cool game releases that are coming out. We had all of that happen over the weekend, and then we had and then we've like gone straight into Next Fest, and then also on the back of the game release weekend, or the game announcements, loads of cool gameplay trailers, all of that kind of stuff. So and the F1 was actually interesting. So it's been a bit hectic for not doing much. It's been a bit of a hectic week, but it's been fun.
Excellent. Well, in that case, we'll move on to Ben.
I love it how, you're exploring all of these next things and so on. And yet, the trilogy I've been playing this week has been, over 10 years old at least?
Don't get me wrong, I was playing Mass Effect on Sunday. I can't go 3 days without talking to Gareth Vakarian. Are you mad?
And then, I know you're on about Dragon Aging as well. And then, no doubt SWTOR's probably going to come in at some point. Let's face it, if you're doing BioWare games, you need to get Knights of the Old Republic in as well.
But that would involve me. Would that not involve someone caring about Star Wars? I'm
Many
really
people
sorry.
care about Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't. So how am I supposed to get? Am I supposed to get invested in like the whole franchise to play the game? This is my problem. Because that feels like
you really don't.
You don't. Actually, to tell you the truth, you got to remember Knights of the Old Republic when it came out. The actual plotting and stuff like that was better than the original than the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, there is a reason why Star Wars fans want to visit the Old Republic in films.
Right, okay. Yeah, but the Star Wars what you said there is there's a reason why Star Wars fans want to visit the Old Republic in films. So what you're saying, what you're sitting there is Star Wars fans. I don't have the energy to put that much effort into consuming a franchise. Apologies.
You don't have to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy it. It's that good.
It is a bloody good storyline in its own right.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's considered one of the best RPGs. But to tell you the truth, when you compare it to modern stuff like Baldur's Gate has been built on the shoulders of giants, and that's one of those giants that got built on.
Yeah.
So if you're expecting another Baldur's Gate 3, it's obviously not going to be as good enough because Baldur's Gate has improved on a lot of things, but it's still worth trying.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Meanwhile,
all of that is basically me saying I've finished off all of Mass Effect 1, and then I've played and finished all of Mass Effect 2, and I'm literally at the very very beginning of Mass Effect 3 now. You know, I've been to Earth and I've escaped Earth, and that's all I've done.
Lovely.
I've the one thing I've noticed, I've been loving Mass Effect, I've been loving the playthroughs, but I'm getting itches to fly real spaceships again, which is the whole reason why I'm flying a spaceship this evening, because I've been running around shooting people in the face all week, and I just feel a need to actually fly something for real rather than
for real.
Go there. Yeah, I want to
for real. Like everyone has
for real in a video game.
You want your realism where you shoot the flowery Thargoids.
I'm going after humans because I can't even be bothered.
The light speed.
Yeah, I'm just going light against humans.
Okay. You want that realism where you murder all of the people. Cool.
That's the one. Yeah, as opposed to Joker Take Me There, which is probably more realistic for that size of ship, or for that matter. Oh, here's a question. Does anybody know what the Normandy is like compared to a cutter? Size-wise?
I think the Normandy is smaller than an Anaconda.
The Normandy is smaller than an Anaconda. I've watched
I know she's small.
Video. The first Normandy is I think it's not half. It might be like 60% of the size of the SR2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Because it's not like I'm doing anything else.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the cutter is going to be larger than the SR2, I suspect.
I'm going to have a look. That's the SR1. The SR1 is 170 meters long. The SR2 is 216 meters. The width of the SR2 is 96 meters, and the height of the SR2 is 24 meters. So, in comparison to elite ships, what's that like?
I've got a feeling that's smaller.
Yeah, how long is the Anaconda?
Let me go and right. Yeah, I know this is great radio. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. How long is the? I typed in to Google how long is the Anaconda, and it gave me snake facts.
Imperial cutter.
I'm going to put Google down now.
Elite dangerous size. Here we go. Imperial cutter. Here we go. Okay, so 192 meters long by 111 meters wide.
Okay, the cutter is wider. She's a thick girl, but not by a lot. But the cutter is is kind of like in the middle between the length
Yeah.
of the SR1 and the SR2.
So the Cossa's like a fat Normandy. Sort of.
No, the
She's got wide arms.
She's slightly wider, but then yeah.
She got bigger hips.
So here's
There
a
we
question,
go.
because I don't know my Normandy lore. Is it realistic for a single lone pilot to fly the Normandy?
I wouldn't
a
have
single
thought
lone
so.
pilot
Well,
doesn't fly the Normandy.
Yeah.
No, the Normandy needs a full crew. He's got the engineers and he's got the
Normandy can have a skeleton. The Normandy can have a skeleton crew of 12 in the SR1, but it has 48 human crewmen in the SR2. Not
Sort of
that
wrong,
I'm
isn't it?
literally
At
reading
least
it now.
that somebody can just sit down and fly off with an Anaconda.
Well, I mean, the question is, effectively, if you're talking about just piloting the ship,
yeah,
Joker just
pilots the ship. So,
actually, technically, it depends whether ED's active. If ED's active,
no. Edie doesn't pilot the ship. Canonically, you need to talk to your people more often. Edie does not fly the ship. Edie handles everything else. It is left to Joker to handle the ship because they've tested it and he has a better response and he can predict the randomness of other pilots where Edie can't. Trust me on this, please.
I literally did this last night. In this conversation, what she says is Joker's a human. AI against AI, they're even.
Yeah.
Joker throws in that random element of being shit because he's a human.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not perfect, and that little bit of random element gives them the edge. But also, Joker.
He's better than her.
he introduces random elements.
Exactly.
But also, when they're just cruising, Joker turns around and says, Edie, you fly the ship for a minute. I'm talking to Shepard.
Yeah.
So he
because
can
she's
pass the ship.
capable of it.
He
She's
can pass it
capable
over.
of it,
Yeah, we
but-
know that. Yeah, we know that she can because she flew the ship away when Jeff was still in the engine room in Mass Effect 2.
And
we know she can fly it.
And
she can fly it now.
when they explode something else and Joker's like, just do it instead of her. I can't remember. Is that the collector base? It might be the collector base. When he yells at her to just do it. Anyway.
There was a point. I want to know, why is Joker standing in the entranceway when you're being shot at and there's loads of other crewmen on board?
Because
he's the one in the entrance bay. Why?
Because all of the other crewmen are injured, with the exception of the people who have all just been shooting as part of like the hold the line defense. And the reason that this is totally my headcanon.
Yeah.
The reason that he is the one shooting is because he went, I'm going to brave this and prove that I am capable of doing this. Yeah, I have the capabilities, because there's a lot of conversations running up, a fair few conversations running up to it where he still talks about being the disabled, being like not as able, and I think that it's like a coming around thing for Jeff, wherein then he's like much more stronger and he's got Edie's backing. I fucking love Joker. Okay.
I love Jeff as well. Yeah, and I love Joker and Dee Dee's relationship.
Okay, let's draw a line.
One space game to another. Back to the proper one.
Yeah. Mass Effect 3 is still fucking amazing, basically.
Yes, it is.
I think Mass Effect 2.
Right. Well, after all that, we're going to stick with the BioWare theme because I am still working my way through Jade Empire.
God, you've got even older.
I know I've gone even older, and I'm enjoying a good bit of kung fu, and I know it's got a twist. I know it's got a major twist in it. I played it, I think, about 15 years ago, and I can't remember what the twist is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I've got this horrible feeling that I'm going to get a right kick in the bottom at some point. No, if that's a spoiler, Ben, I don't want to know. On top of that, let's see. They've got... I was trying to hunt authoresses over the weekend and do the CG, but first of all, everybody completed the CG, so I couldn't do it. And secondly, I was hunting Ulthruses in unmanned systems, and it seemed like all the unidentified signal sources disappeared.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah, it's not right. I don't know what you've done.
Yeah.
And I hate to blame you, Colin.
No, because I was flying around going, where are all the blooming unidentified signal sources? There's no Thargoids here. But you go into the FSS, and they're all there in the FSS for you to find.
Yeah.
And of course, because it's an unmanned system, normally the first thing I would do if it was a populated system is straight to the nav beacon, scan the nav beacon, and it'd give you everything. But not in this case, which really annoyed me. So I spent a lot of time looking for Ulthruses, couldn't find one, but did actually still have an enjoyable time taking out Thargoids in VR over the weekend, which I thought was really good. So that's my Elite Dangerous experience this week. I must admit the Anti-Xeno Initiative are very, very good at stopping alerts now. Yeah, so there's no invasions whatsoever, but I don't know. I think they've actually improved the alert gameplay a little. There seems to be more things available. So yeah, I had a good time doing that. And apart from that, yeah, well, it was raining a lot over the weekend, so nothing much got done. So yeah, Ben, you want to talk about something?
Yeah, the one thing I feel so dirty about the past couple of weeks is I've had the EA launcher open.
Oh
I
God!
don't like EA. But of course, BioWare is now owned by EA.
Oh,
it is what it is.
I know. I feel dirty though, and I need a shower after looking at my computer.
It be what it be. It be what it be, mate. Just you know what? Let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I know, but the next thing you're going to realize is I installed The Sims.
I mean, don't do it.
Wintermute has just
days.
Wintermute has just made me feel really old. He's just told me that Jade Empire is actually 19 years old. And here's something that really break your noodle, Ben. The Battlestar Galactica TV series.
Oh, I know.
20 years old.
I was going to say, I saw somebody saying the other day that there was more time between now and the new BSG than there was between the old BSG and the new BSG or something like that.
Yeah. I know. I don't
have the facts for that, but I'm sure somebody said that.
So I know more than 40 to the old BSG.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, think about it. 40 years ago, that's 1984, mate.
Beady, beady, beady.
Yeah.
That was Buck Rogers, though.
Yeah, that was Buck Rogers.
Right, right.
Get your 70s Glenn Larson science fiction cheeseball stuff out there. Mind you, the girls in that one are always amazing.
Yes. We're not saying nothing about Wilma.
Hey?
Wilma Deering.
About the 70s one, but that's just.
Oh, okay. I was on about Buck Rogers. Oh, come on. You're telling me you didn't have a thing for Wilma Deering?
No.
What is wrong with you?
I'm so confused about what's going on, but I'm enjoying your incredulousness towards each other.
No.
Everybody had one.
Well, not me.
Alex, did you?
I just had to Google Wilma Deering to remind myself which one she was, but yes,
Okay.
tight catsuits. Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
It now seems that the Anaconda seems to be the measuring stick that we're now measuring all big science fiction spaceships against. So apparently the Battlestar Galactica is the Battlestar Galactica is now 8.6 Anacondas long, which probably mean that the same as an Imperial Star Destroyer, because an Imperial Star Destroyer and the Battlestar Galactica were about the same size. If I remember rightly.
Tweaked is with me on Wilma Deering.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Jeez. There's people have different tastes. Thank you.
People do have different tastes.
Yes. I was much more of
I also always did like Dr. Theodopoulos or whatever his name was.
Well, whatever floats your boat.
Not like that. I just like the character.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love the idea of this really intelligent AI, but they have to be carried around by these very much less than intelligent but quite friendly I don't know how sentient was Riki.
This is definitely the throwback episode this week. So let's move on while there's a fox jumping around in my back garden that I need to shoot.
Here on Retro Lave.
Yeah. Yes, you're getting a Retro Lave episode. So let's quickly go to the development news. What has been happening this week? Well, we've actually had some... Oh, just shut up with it.
That's the show title.
What?
Red Dwarf is 64.5 Anaconda long. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just leave it. It's fine. Just move on.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's like herding cat. I think forget herding cats. Herding bens are bad enough.
We've got the conclave of Chris's here.
Anyway, the development news for Elite Dangerous this week. Oh God, we've kicked off a blooming argument about what's bigger in the chat room now. Dear. Anyway, there has been people have been giving feedback to the Thargoid War, and Frontier have responded. It now does seem well. Last Thursday they put out a server-side update, which was as follows: Spire systems spread pushback no longer will target alert systems. Okay. Uninhabited alert systems are now less challenging to contest. Additionally, alternative activities to Orthrus hunting within these systems, i.e. escape pod rescues or intercept hunting, have received significant boosts to the war contributions, which is good. The Basilisk, Medusa and Hydra interceptor types have received further boosts to the war contribution, about time too, and Scout types have received a significant boost to their war contribution. So basically your shootings, Thargoids, now is probably better than actually sampling them.
Good. I might go scout hunting. I'm quite into scout hunting.
In addition, the Spire system in Hades sector DX-H A11-1 incorrectly received spread pushback from another Spire system. Spire systems should always be immune to any form of spread pushback, so this was unintentional. Because you don't want to spread pushback chaining to another spread pushback, obviously.
No.
So on the Thursday turn,
spread pushbacks.
Yeah, the Hades sector, blah 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 blah, will have 25% removed from its progress, and 25% will be added to the next furthest system for the Hades sector. So there you got it. Right.
I'm feeling Frontiers stand firmly on the controls at the moment.
Yeah, yes. Quite interestingly put, whilst the Thargoids could always change their strategy in the future, I don't think we've seen the last of their invasions, says Paul on the forums. And add to that, you've got Arthur going, "Don't get cocky."
Indeed, and now the new Galnet. There's lots of time posting.
Yes. So it does seem that I was under the impression that what was happening was that they're going to try and wrap the Thargoid War up in time for Power Play 2. I'm not quite so sure now.
I'm sticking with Christmas.
You're sticking with... You want it to last till Christmas?
I think so. Well, that's what I said before, and I don't want to be wrong.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you're just on the line to... I don't want to be embarrassed on Lave Radio by getting wrong. Make sure it lasts.
You're imagine about not being embarrassed about on Lave Radio. That ship sailed as soon as... Never mind.
Since we're not allowed to change our minds, the only other option is it's got to be Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
No, being on Lave Radio is embarrassing enough. No. Right. Well, I think after that bombshell, we'll move on to Alec and the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
So good. I didn't talk over it.
Done.
He's learning.
Which didn't happen last week either. Right. There's all sorts. I've got shed loads of community this week. It's very exciting. First up, we want to wish congratulations to Commander John Wick, who has managed to, this is quite an achievement, he's managed to composition scan every single codex variant in the galaxy. Complete list of all 1,054 codex entries, I think, excluding all the different body types as well. I don't know if we have, we have a map on stream at the moment and we'll have it in the show notes, but this is just a sort of little EDSM map of his journey around the galaxy. So we had to zip all over the galaxy to collect all of these. Did some sums, I think, was it else you did some sums? Somebody did some sums for us. And we estimate that Commander John Wick traveled something like 2 million light years in his quest to scoop up every single codex entry. And then we reached out and we have a little quote from John Wick, who says, he says, more than 150 days to finish. Of course, I procrastinated a little. 984 discoveries in Codex. I divided my journey into stages, as I also wanted to visit all 42 sectors. I bet with Commander Sapphire that she is the next to complete this challenge. I made a point of using different community resources like the Fleet Carrier Owners and Azure Trips to see what it's like. I initially thought I should go back to llama pens or rooster milking sheds, but thanks to the support of LCU, SOV, Marks, Eramus, Spanch, communities like Elite BR, Canon, FCOC, Fleetcom, EDCB, and others. And of course, thanks to this, I was able to have a damn good journey, not less important. I voted for LCU in the last election. Bravo, sir. That's one hell of an achievement. I always thought the Codex was like some sort of giant I Spy book, and quite like the idea of trying to get all the stamps in my book, but then I just didn't have the focus to do what John has achieved there. Nice going. Next one's a great story as well. So we commented briefly last week on Galnet News calling out Meccan as a war criminal, and then Meccan posting a video in it sort of responding to that, claiming he wasn't. I'm not in the AXI Discord, so I don't know to what extent it's rumbling on, but I sort of gather there was talk of war tribunals and things. I confess, I thought slightly ill of AXI in this, in that I thought, Pete Witherspoon was just having a bit of fun with his video, and I thought the response seemed to be awfully serious and taking itself very seriously. So I have to say, well played to Commander Meccan and crew, because they have produced a video and it's really fantastic. It's they've literally dramatized in-game Meccan's war crime trial, and it's fantastic. It looks like it could be the beginning of a kind of series of machinima videos. I probably won't spoil it, actually. I'll let people watch it. I thought it was really good and really unexpected. Maybe if I was in the AXI Discord, I would have heard more about it coming, but caught me off guard. Did any of the rest of you see it?
I have seen it. Yeah, I have seen it. It's
I've
really
seen it.
it's really good. It's a really good video. Just for if they do decide to do future ones, it's Aegis. Just to let them know.
Right.
Because they say Aegis a lot throughout the video, and they bring forward an Aegis representative,
My
and
people.
they would know how to pronounce it.
My
I'm just
people.
saying.
I can feel them now.
Where we, I'm curious, because you often mention
Sorry,
this.
I didn't catch that. You are roboting quite a lot, Alec. I'm afraid.
That's a great shame. Maybe I'll quit and rejoin Discord at the ad break. Never mind. I shall plow on.
Okay.
Next thing is a video. It's really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. It's called Elite Dangerous VR: From Brilliance to Heartbreaking Disappointment. It's by a streamer who's new to me, and not particularly an Elite Dangerous streamer, called Cockney Gamer, and he really leans into the Cockney in a way that I found absolutely hilarious. And he gives a really brilliant description of what VR is like. I think it's very difficult to convey unless you've tried it, but I think he does a fantastic job of really selling how stunning Elite Dangerous is in VR and how it's quite possibly the best VR experience out there still. And then kind of in the second half of the video dives into how heartbreaking it is that Frontier didn't really continue to support it. And actually, I sort of get it watching this video. I sort of stopped using video, but he reminded me how fantastic VR is in Elite, and B, what it is that it didn't get supported properly. So worth a watch. I thought it was very funny. It's very sweary. I should warn people. It's extremely sweary.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I saw this one because obviously I'm a VR addict as well, and yes, it was. I have to agree with everything he said, apart from the fact that I can understand why they didn't put it in. There's one line right at the very end where he says that the problem with VR is it's a niche of a niche, and to tell you the truth, I think when you go into VR, or what David Braben said about the whole process was that they found they just hired someone for a week just to try it out to see how difficult to put in.
Yeah.
It took a week to put in, which was everyone was surprised about. And when they tried it, they realised they'd captured lightning in a bottle. Even they didn't expect it to be as good as it is. And the problem is that when you've played stuff like Half-Life Alyx and a lot of on-foot VR games, like No Man's Sky, for instance, the amount of development that's going to be needed.
Yeah, a whole other ball game.
Unbelievable.
I mean, sitting in a cockpit and looking around, it kind of just happens. I can see how Elite just happened to work in VR, but adding on foot support in VR is a whole other ball game. There's a great video out there at the moment, quite a new video about some of the details in Half-Life Alyx's VR support. Really subtle things, and when you watch it, you just start to get the beginnings of a glimpse into how difficult it is to get VR really nice for on-foot stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm discovering that myself because I'm putting together a VR game at the moment.
Oh right.
Yeah, I just found out that the headset that I use, the XR Elite, that's Android, and it's got its own SDK on it. So I'm obviously trying the SDK and seeing what I can come up with.
Oh, cool.
And coming up with something is difficult.
Yeah. I think I can imagine all sorts of issues, but just that disconnect, if you don't get it right, if your hand doesn't make contact with the thing you're trying to make contact with, everything just feels wrong. If you don't get it right, it suddenly goes from being amazing to being really weird and rubbish.
Yeah, they call that the emotional disconnect.
Right. Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah. Shall I play on?
Okay, so do we want to? I agree with everything you're saying, Colin, but I agree with what some of the other people are saying, that fine, let us play it with the existing control scheme. Let me run around with mouse and keyboard and just shove my goggles on, or let me run around with a controller, but I'm using my goggles essentially as a moving camera.
I would love it if they just did that, to be honest. But
I think most people would accept that, and you sign a caveat saying, if I throw up, it's my fault. And I wonder how much harder just that level of support would be.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know if you still can, but didn't you used to be able to glitch it? Something in the camera switch.
You're able
You can go into camera view.
Yeah,
and run around.
There was another thing, but then they put in a patch to stop it.
So you can't do it in the camera view now.
I thought it'd be.
No, the camera view still works, but there was something else you could do that stopped it, but I can't remember what that was. You have to dig through the VR forum for that, and I can't face that.
You still got. Am I right in thinking we still have track IR support?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
except
what would we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did change something in track IR.
Mm-hmm.
So what you used to have. So when you're on foot, it's now disabled. So you used to be able to run
okay. So you don't have. So Yeah.
It used to basically be unusable. It was fun to run and look around, but that's about all because
Yeah.
your targeting dot is it's either where your hands are or it's where your eyes are, but whichever it is, it just doesn't work. It's impossible to click on anything. So what I always used to do, because I use track IR, is
Mhm.
the minute I was on foot, I'd press a little button on my joystick that disabled it myself because I found it unusable.
Yeah.
And Frontier have just implemented that as a permanent fix.
I
So
wonder if that's the reason. And this press E to continue kind of, or press E2 or F or whatever it is to open things is the reason why they don't have VR then. I wonder
yeah,
if that has the
yeah,
same problem. 'Cause,
yeah.
yeah,
maybe.
I could live with not running around shooting things, with my guns and running, really running around and everything like that. But if we can't do aiming, even using mouse and even using the mouse, as it were,
Yeah,
that might be weird.
I don't know if the sort of quick and dirty VR solution you're suggesting would do, with a disclaimer. But if it's anything like running around with headlook, then
It might not.
I
Yeah,
would suggest
yeah,
it was unusable.
yeah, and
In fact,
I think you might have just answered the problem.
Or highlighted the problem, rather.
Yeah, that. I know what I mean.
right, onwards. It's enough
Yes.
about VR nonsense. Loot and Grind is back with a nice little video talking about the Type 8. Is this the most badass looking ship? Just the usual nice video from Loot and Grind on. There's loads of videos about the Type 8, but I like that one in particular. Fantastic music video from Mr. XCV called Beauty of Elite Dangerous Part 6. And it really does have some, you see a lot of these montages and kind of 20% of the stuff is beautiful. And then there's some kind of filler, I'm going to say. This is every single shot, and there's some really fast cut editing in this. Every single shot it's like 2 minutes of solid screenshot winners. It's some stunning video in this, some really fantastic image. God knows how far I've had to travel to find all these incredible sites. But yeah, if you see sort of a 2-minute slideshow or a video of incredible sites, then that's a really good video to watch. The next one I spotted on Facebook. These are actually there's a whole bunch of videos. They're all a month old, and we may even have covered this before, but I just wanted to mention it again because it's stunning. It's called Home Cockpit for Elite Dangerous by Esposito Carlo Antonio, who's built the most incredible Elite Dangerous sim rig I've kind of ever seen, and it's just it's a few minutes of him, taking off and kind of engaging landing gears and things. And he's going to make a couple of videos. I think I was sort of chatting in the comments with him today, and he's going to make another video, I think, about the electronics. So there's already a video that he's released about the build, like the wood, the actual kind of framing of the construction of the cockpit itself, I suppose. But he's going to do another video on the electronics. I was saying I'd love to see him sort of talk us through the cockpit. There are so many controls and panels. I would love to know what half of it does. But unfortunately, he's not an English speaker, so he thought that might be quite difficult. But it's worth a watch anyway. It's an incredible cockpit. Next one, I wanted to shout out Beetlejude. There's a lot of people that do regular videos like the Purrs and Orange Phoenix and Exorcist and people, and I often shout out kind of the new ones. And there are these stalwarts of the community who release regular videos, and I just wanted to call back to one of those. Beetlejude does these wonderful videos where she paints people's screenshots from Elite Dangerous and talks. It's a sort of sped up stop motion kind of a painting taking shape before your very eyes while Beetlejude talks about the scene. And I just really enjoyed this one. It's a painting of a Guardian missile strike. And it's just miraculous to watch the picture take shape in front of your eye. Really interesting little bit of banter around it as well. So yeah, go and check that out. Give Beetlejude some love. These are fantastic videos. The last thing I wanted to shout out dropped today, actually, and this was from Thargosu, who is one of the Elite Dangerous guys. And he's just posted something up on their website called the Elite Dangerous Lore Explorer. It looked fantastic. I haven't had a lot of chance to really delve into it, but it's basically like what do you call them? Mind maps, or I don't know. It's like a sort of connected map of nodes of
Yeah.
everything to do with Elite Dangerous lore. You know, and lore stories are connected to other stories, and those stories are connected to other things. So Raxler's connected to whatever, and so it's just a wonderful sort of collection of hundreds of little bubbles of lore knowledge all connected by little nodes. You can spin it and zoom in on it and click on things, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of content in there. It looks fantastic. Yeah, and that is my community news for this week.
Excellent. So yeah, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it, or I like to shout about it to be more specific, then tweet the airways at Elite Radio. You know what? I'll put my teeth back in. So you tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. So moving on from there, we have the in-game events. What has been happening this week? Well, stuff. We've had stuff appear in Galnet, which is a shock. On the 6th of June, obviously, they started off a CG. Reports were coming in that the strained Decamana station has been the target of increased levels of pirate attacks. So basically everybody defend the station and take stuff to it is effectively the CG for that one. There was speculation on the loose screws that this was AI generated. I'm not quite so sure whether or not they've gone that far. But yes, at the moment on Saturday, the combat CG ended, which was kill the pirates. And at the moment, the existing trading CG is only at level 1. I suppose it's passed, but yeah, it's quite a lot of people taking part with that one. But then we had a new item today, which was the 11th of July 3310. Aegis, wary about
Oh, and
changing...
we're in June, matey.
What?
11th of June, bud.
What did I say?
You said July.
Right.
You made me panic for a second as well.
We bring you news from the future.
News from the future. Yes. Sorry, the 11th of June then. Today. Oh, well, 3310 anyway. Aegis is wary about changing Thargoid behavior. A recent behavioral change in the Thargoids has prompted urgent discussion amongst Aegis researchers and strategists rather. So yeah, that's another hint that things might be coming up and bubbling up in the Thargoid War. Anybody want to talk about that one?
Yeah, it's all going to shit, and it's going to take until December. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it actually turns out. If I'm completely honest, I think it'll be fun. Is that a weird thing to say? I think it's going to be fun.
It's not a weird thing to say because when you actually look at the Thargoid War at the moment, which Indra appears to be the focus of attack. However, thanks to the changes to the Thargoid War, you'll see that so far 30 alerts started last week, of which 27 had been repelled already. We've had no invasions. They've lost one control system, and of course, obviously, 4 Titans are left. It does seem that we've got to that stage again where there are no invasions.
Yeah, I was talking to someone talking to Captain MD the other day, who was incredibly confident that we wouldn't see another invasion again. Sometimes that confidence has been misplaced, and I'll be gutted if that's the case, because I find planetary base attacks I find so much fun. So it would be disappointing to me to not have those level of action again. It's a shame, really.
Wow. Yeah, to have seen the last of assaulted planetary bases and not even realise we've seen the last of it until it's like, oh shit, we haven't seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that Frontier continue to tweak as they do. The other thing, it was nice to see like the independent squadrons reference, so SMPX, AXI, and MUDD in this thing, and like reminding people that while the AXI absolutely do a lot of work. 100% great.
Yeah.
There are other ones out there. Other anti-Xeno groups are available should you so wish.
Yeah, good job, Frontier, picking up on that and throwing some more names in there. Doesn't this sound? Look, I'm just rereading this Galnet again. I mean, it sounds like what they're saying is that the Thargoids are kind of not retreating, but I guess yes, I suppose I do mean retreating.
They're consolidating.
Yes, so instead of spreading themselves out and invading systems and things, they're maybe pulling back to the Titans. So I wonder if what we're going to see at Indra is like a absolute onslaught of Thargoid defense ships when we start trying to attack its core. I wonder if that's where they're going to go with it.
Well, I mean, you see, the thing about the last time that we ran out of invasion systems, it was also coincided to when the Glaive was released, and that just made people turn away from the Thargoid war because, it just seemed like it was, the fun bit had gone, and then you got this other thing that turned up, which made things even less fun. So, I do hope that they've taken it. They've learnt their lesson from putting stuff in that is detrimental to the gameplay experience.
Oh, you're thinking Glaives?
Yeah, because I think the one thing that they've got in their back pocket is that the Glaive and the Scythe, they haven't been about as much to everybody's relief, because they thought the one thing that was spoiling the Thargoid war was especially the Glaive, and they start putting that in again, and I think that could be a major slowdown. But the thing is, it won't put off people like the Anti-Xeno Initiative, but it will put off the people who are less committed to doing it, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been out to Indra, or at least recently, so I guess it's sort of, compared to the last one, which was so far out, I'm guessing it's sort of an unremarkable Titan in as far as its location goes.
No, I haven't been to any of the Titan systems, so I don't know how far out Indra. It's got to be a lot closer than Haddad was.
I assume so.
Yeah. So I mean, what are you thinking of the Thargoids have got up their sleeves? Do you think we're going to get more Stargoids, or do we think we're just going to? Are they just going to up the difficulty?
Personally, I don't. I think they've got some sort of other attack formation. I don't think it'll be a new bit of gameplay, but I suspect Indra is going to. I guess my hunch is that Indra is going to unleash some kind of onslaught of interceptors to prevent people from having such easy access to the thermal core, something like that.
Fair enough. Ben?
Yeah, I'm with Alec. I think, as they're saying, they're consolidating their forces. We're going to be flying through that cloud of green goo, and we're going to see a lot more Thargoids in patrol, I think. And they're going to be a lot more aggressive.
Fair enough. All of a sudden you'll have, trying to do your thermal bomb, and you'll have 3 Thargoid scythes on your tail going, stay on target, stay on target.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Psychic? What do you think the Thargoids have got up their sleeve? Or mandible?
Mandible. No.
Tentacle.
My guy, absolutely not. Don't you tarnish them with mandibles. I think shy of them just spaffing out a load of alerts, a load more alerts. I don't think they have a lot more in the tank. So my gut says we're gonna have we're just going to have a vast amount of alerts, more so than when the one before her dad did it 30 or 40 or however many it did, and there was panic. I think they'll probably like double or triple that in an attempt to slow us down a little tiny bit. I think that is hey, you know what the Thargoids have got up this stage. I don't think there's going to be a magical new ship that appears or anything along those lines. We're winding down to a live service game that the community are running. They've got rid of all of the story people, so we're not getting anything fancy with this. We're getting new ships, which is great, and we're getting a new brilliant mechanic, which is probably going to be leaning towards what we can do to facilitate change within the game, with just a skeleton staff looking after Elite, because it's a 10-year-old game. So I'm not expecting anything major other than just like more of the same that we've had before.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, we will put that on the board of things to our Elite Dangerous prophecies to see whether or not that turns out to be true. Christmas. I think at the moment probably September, October.
Good, because you said September before, and if you were going back on that, I would also be changing mine.
All right, okay, so I'll stick with September then.
Good.
Yes.
I think you said September before.
I should
have written it down, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
It was either me or one of the Chris's.
Don't you try and sneak your way into the Chris Collective, Colin.
I'm sorry. Pardon.
I am their bouncer and their manager.
Well, you should be relieved that you will not be untroubled by any interest in the Chris Collective. Thank you.
That was a double negative.
Colin...
I'm concerned.
Yeah, is Colin sneaking in with having his first letter of his name being the same?
I'm not having it.
Chris.
Colin's not doing any sneaking whatsoever. I do not want to be involved in any Chris Collective. Thank you.
Sneaking.
Jeez. So just because there's more than one of them, blooming heck. Right. Anyway.
For the record, I want to maintain. I'll keep the same date that I said, though I've got no idea what I said, but I'll stick with it anyway.
So you're going to stick with the date you can't remember.
Yeah, that's the one.
We can check, you know.
Oh, yeah, we have the ability, but I just don't know.
We have all of the shows recorded and available online.
I don't even know which show it was in.
Fuck, I know. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be the chief archivist, but even I can't be bothered to look that one up.
You had one job.
Anyone to assume that we listen to this show afterwards? Can you imagine?
Colin does. I know that.
No, I don't.
Or at least Colin
did. But it was but it was months ago, and you know, we've spoken a lot since then. Like Alec, I know for a fact Alec listens to most of our shows, and he won't even remember.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, well, just quickly, the store was down over the weekend. So
it was down for a long time.
Yeah, well, 48 hours. First thing Monday morning, it was back up and running. We think probably because Dav came in and had his coffee. Oh, well, that's down. Click. So yeah, the store's back up and running, has been since Monday. Nothing new on it, I'm afraid. Although I am still tempted to get the Blanc.
Okay, can I be slightly concerned here?
About?
I am sure that Frontier, as in the entity of Frontier, was made aware of this within probably minutes of it going down.
Yes. That did concern me as well.
I know with my work and my stuff, all of our supported products have 24/7 supports for pretty much anything, including going back to having the developers on call if needed.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
I'm concerned that Frontier don't have something in place to go and say, oh shit, the Ark store's down, fix it. And they might have, and it might have taken them all weekend long to fix. That is entirely possible, but I'm just concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't even any reply until Monday morning. So, yeah, that was... Yeah, especially since that's the thing that's supposed to be bringing in the money at the moment.
Well, exactly. You know, if they're going to have 24/7 support on any one thing, two things, hopefully. Hopefully, if the game servers go down, they also have 24/7 support on that. But, you know, you'd have thought, if the ability to get more money come in ain't going to be on support until Monday morning, that worries me, and I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah, no, it's quite understandable because, yeah, it worries me as well. So, right, well, I guess what we'll do is we will take a break and we'll come back with our main discussion.
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free displeasure beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with 0 oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters aren't enough.
I spend so much time in my Imperial Trader, I find it really hard to meet people.
I mean, when do you get the time to go to bars when you're taking on courier jobs for the military?
But with VenusDating.com, it was so simple. I just put in my personal details and they found me my perfect match.
I really thought it would be difficult, but Venus Dating made it so simple, with so much in common.
We both like movies, walking along the beach at sunset,
browsing Imperial shipyards.
And of course, since we started dating, we've discovered that we both really love shooting Thargoids. Let your voyage begin with VenusDating.com for every first encounter.
Out there's a ship just for you. A ship that can carry you to the furthest stars, jumping long distances whilst offering an unobstructed view of the galaxy. A ship that can also pack a decent punch if the pirates come knocking. A ship that feels safe. A ship that feels like home. The Asp Explorer. A great ship at a great price in a competitive galaxy. Fly far. Fly safe. Fly in front of foes.
Have you been missold PPI? Python Protection Insurance was missold if you didn't want it, ask for it, or need it.
I was missold Python Protection Insurance and I got a claim worth 3,000 credits.
At Cowell & McGrath, we are ready to pursue claims for pilots who were sold PPI, even though they didn't have an escape pod.
When my partner's ship was destroyed, the insurance became invalid. I settled out of court for enough credits to restart my narcotics and weapons shipping business.
Millions have been missold Python Protection Insurance they can never claim, simply because they don't have an escape pod. Why should you pay for not reading the small print?
My husband was missold PPI. As a result of our claim, we now own Jupiter.
Cowell & McGrath, turning your carelessness into profitable lawsuits.
Excellent. Welcome back. Now, we're going to cover the question of the week here. Now, obviously, the two ships that have been announced, we've got the Python Mark II. That is let's be honest, it's a combat ship. We've got the Type 8 coming soon. That is essentially a trading ship. So we've got up to two more ships coming before the end of the year. And we were wondering what the next ship was going to be, and what areas need to be covered, to be honest. So let's quickly go around the crew first and get their opinions before going through everybody else's. Let's start with Alec. I mean, what ships would you like to see?
What I like. That's the question. I mean, the obvious answer, which I'm sure we'll get a lot of question of the week, I haven't skimmed ahead, is people will say that we're due an explorer and a passenger liner or something to that effect. I have an alternative spin, which is, how about a SEO-enabled federal ship and an SEO-enabled imperial ship?
Ooh,
So we've got
I like that.
Yeah. So maybe Corvette's kind of at the top end, but maybe some sort of dropship, gunship. It doesn't fill a new role, especially. So I'm not very excited with my suggestion. Nevertheless, some kind of dropship, gunship sort of thing for the feds, and then maybe an SEO-enabled mid-range. Actually, no. Let's go short ship. I'm going to say an Imperial Courier Mark II or something to that effect. God knows what for. I just like the idea. I definitely like the idea of a super cruise enabled Imperial Courier. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing, and an Imperial Courier that could do that. I know that on the Imperial side, there's no medium ship for the Imperials. Is there a medium ship for the Feds?
Yeah, dropship and gunship are mediums, I think.
Are they? Oh, right.
Federal assault ship, I believe, is.
Yeah. Okay. So all of those three.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
interesting. I'm wondering. I'm still puzzled. I think I mentioned this last week's show. I'm still puzzled by their initial kind of claiming that they're going to be variants, which is a bit of an undersell, really. It's like a slightly not disappointing news, but if they're not going to be variants, then I don't quite see why they said it at the beginning. And certainly the Type 8, most people don't feel like it's a variant. So I'm just wondering, with the next two, are they going to be back to being clearly variants of existing ships, or are they going to be as new as the Type 8 film? Don't know. What do people think on that one?
Well,
so
yeah, go on. You first, Claire.
So it's difficult to say that the Type 8 doesn't feel like a variant until we sit in it, because it's going to my looking at the ship from the outside, the instinct is that it's going to feel very familiar as you're inside the ship. So it's not rewriting or blowing anybody away with this interior. It's going to be a familiar looking interior. So I think that's what we've discussed this before, where we feel like that's where they're getting away with being able to call it a variant. I don't know about the other part of the other part of it. That sentence ran away with me a lot. Well, how did you finish your question, Alec? Remind me, and I will answer it.
What did I say? I just said, do we think the next two will feel more like new ships, like Type 8 does, or do we think the next two ships will clearly, the part you can clearly see the Python and the Python Mark II? Do we think the next two will clearly, develop on the body shape of an orca, for example, or recognizably?
Okay, so yeah, it's probably going to feel like a variant from when you're sitting within the cockpit. effectively.
Externally, it still looks
But externally, it can look however the hell it chooses because I'm
Yeah.
not going to see it when I'm sat in the ship. As long as I'm enjoying the flight experience, and I believe that's probably why we're confusing why Frontier was still using the term variant when the Type 8 arguably only has a hint or a whiff or a soupçon of Type 7 or Type 6.
Yeah. I mean, I think the main reason that they call them variants is because the cockpit is the same. As far as they haven't had to rebuild any new cockpits. So as far as that's concerned, that's why they're all going to be called variants, because it's not a brand new ship because it's going to feel similar to another ship you're already in. That said, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they took a clip of cockpit and put it into a medium ship and I wouldn't consider that a variant if it's just the cockpit that's the same.
Yeah, that's what you mean. I haven't actually, because I haven't paid early access to the Python Mark II. I haven't actually flown one yet. When you're inside the Python Mark II, does it feel pretty much identical to being in a Python?
So the Python
No.
feels very apart from being
Not
sat
feels,
in a
let's say looks when you look around.
Looks practically the same.
Yeah, okay.
You see, that's the thing. It'll look practically the same, and I suspect that it'll feel exactly the same as if you've got an Asp Explorer, but with two massive arms in front of you when you get into the Type 8.
So same seating arrangement in the Python, same kind of struts on the cockpit glass and sort of stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I'm not quite so sure about the Type 8 because
we don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, the Type 7's got a single cockpit, hasn't it? But we're hoping that the Type 8 is going to be multi-crew.
I can't remember if it's up. It's not up
Is
and
there
down.
not someone where you can sit behind them? Is it not someone above or below?
The multi-crew turrets in Laken is basically the Type 9 and the Type 10. And there you've got the commander at the top, and you've got the two subordinates sat behind and below you, which is actually a bit weird.
A quick Google makes me think that the Type 8 cockpit, at least what we saw from outside, the bubble of canopy glass is almost identical to the Type 9.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be. Well, if it's going to be a 3-person ship, I'm looking forward to that. Well, it's a 4-person ship now, isn't it? And they've put a 4th seat on in the cockpits now.
In the Type 9, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same for the Type 10.
I remember that. Was that when Multi-Crew came out?
Yes.
And people were very annoyed that the Type 9 didn't have a 4th seat, and then suddenly it did.
No, the actual 4th seat that appeared when Odyssey did.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was weird. Right. What about you, Ben?
Are we talking about what do you want? What I would actually like, or what I want? Or
Well,
what I think?
what do you think at the moment is missing? What roles do you think are missing, and what do you think can fill them?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. The given is it's going to have an SCO drive, obviously. I'm going to stick with pretty close to what I had in Twitter, and I do think there is an idea for a passenger ship with an SCO drive. We don't have anything like that. I think it would be a good idea. And what makes more sense for running around quickly than a passenger ship? Maybe I'd make it a dolphin rather than an adder, but then I'd also make the taxis dolphins too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the taxis. The problem with the dolphin is they're not multi-crew, are they? The reason that the Adder
Yeah,
is
so-
multi-crew is
Why the hell? I mean, this is another thing that does my nut in with the passenger with the taxi system in the Adder. Why the hell are we sitting in the cockpit? If I were getting, even in a taxi, I get in the back. Let me. Would it have been too much to give us a, sort of like a passenger compartment in the back of a ship?
I know what you mean. I suppose
yeah.
you can't get out of the seat or anything. But I
No, you
suppose
can't do anything in it.
I can't remember when this was, but I think we got wind of taxis, the idea of taxis before Odyssey dropped, and I seem to recall having thought that it would be really cool for the taxi to be a dolphin, for us to be sat in one of the passenger seats.
Give me a
One of the
dolphin
many,
and give
many passenger seats.
Yeah, give me a dolphin, and okay, fine. We don't have the cockpit in front of us. We have a lovely wraparound window instead. Lovely wraparound screen showing me the external view of the ship that I can fly around. Essentially, basically put me into debug cam behind my camera, behind my ship. Something like that. A bit like like the drop ship, how we're standing in the cargo bay, but let me sit in a bus or in a limo or whatever we want it to be. And then also let me go into debug view, and that would make so much more sense than being in the cockpit of your ship transport, which has always just struck me as very weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, make it a dolphin, because why the hell isn't it why it isn't a passenger ship? I don't know. And then that would also get rid of the Adder to keep Colin safe and happy too.
It does seem with both that decision, and also all these new variants with the variants we're seeing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is an obvious statement to make, but it does seem like it's a lot harder for Frontier to design a new interior than it is for them to design a new exterior.
Well, they managed to do a basic interior for the dropship. So if you can do it for that, why can't you do the same thing but with either, as I said, I would go either a limo interior or even a bus interior.
Yeah, no, that's good. Colin, what do you reckon is coming next?
What do I reckon's coming next? Right. What I reckon's coming next, well, I'm hoping we get a decent Explorer. And I'm hoping that it's a variant. I do. I don't want it to be a variant of one of the Scouts. I would like it to be a big Explorer.
But
maybe
not a mass variant.
No, I'm not quite so sure whether. I don't know. I think I would like the Imperial Explorer from Frontier First Encounters, which is a big ship, but it's set up for exploration. I mean, ironically, the best ship for exploration, if you want to get somewhere fast, is an Anaconda. An Anaconda.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like something that could take. You could do big jumps. It could get to the far side of the galaxy far, but then you get your. You're still able to explore. I'd like something big along that lines. Maybe a dedicated exploration Anaconda, or maybe even an Imperial Clipper that could look nicer with a third wing. Why a third wing? I have no idea.
I want it to look different.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing. I definitely would want that, I think. I'm not quite so sure whether they need another passenger liner though.
You not think so?
Although maybe a medium one. Do we?
Yeah, that's what I'd like. That's my hope, is that we get I want, like, the last two I would like to be a Diamondback and a some kind of Diamondback variant, because I like them and I think they're neat. And I'd like a oh fuck me, like what Sal Kruger? Am I right in saying that that's the beluga and the orca and that shit? Is that Sal Kruger? Please.
It is Kruger,
Oh,
yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. The silence, I was like, shit.
You're right, don't worry.
Shit, I'm a woman and I said something wrong on the internet.
Oh, no.
Fuck. I try so hard to make sure that all my facts are in line because otherwise they come for me. No, I'd like a medium orca. But I'd like it. Maybe the boa. Was the boa a Sal Kruger at the time or something? Or I don't know. I'd Google it, but
Can I cycle back to passenger X?
No, Alex.
Oh, go on, please.
All right, I'll allow it.
It's just, although passenger and exploration seem like the obvious other two slots to fill, does anybody do passenger missions?
Yes.
I love passenger missions.
Good.
You're not the one. That's the one part of the game that I've completely and utterly missed out on. I do not do passenger missions.
I did.
It's the only thing that I use my Python for nowadays.
I did it for a while. You often hear people like, I don't know, sort of streamers like Luke Grind often talks about how he really likes relaxing doing mining. So you often hear people. I very rarely hear people say.
That's because most of the passenger twats.
I'm seeing Chris Mark 5 saying it's his entire thing, so fair enough. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
There are
Chris
people
does a
that
lot
love
of it.
passenger stuff. That's great.
Chris does an awful lot of it, and it's for it's also you get exploration. I know exploration rank is really easy to get before everyone comes for me, but you get exploration rank through doing the sightseeing missions with the passengers. So it's another really nice way to gain rank. And also if you're taking like the proper sightseeing missions where you're going to a beacon and stuff, hey, guess what? There's like little hidden snippets of lore and cool things that you might not know about. Yeah.
Really
Because and the tourist beacons, they're there for a reason.
They take
and
you to all the pretty places.
Yeah, it's another reason to go and see it. And some of it is like world building, and other bits of stuff like, oh god, it's not called buckyball. What is it? The speedballing. Is that what it's called?
Elite trace. Oh, the thing where you basically fall into the planet and try not to hit.
Right, it's gravity driving kind of thing.
Speedball.
Speedball.
Yeah, speed bowling.
Yes. So that sort of thing. Is there not a beacon for that?
Maybe. There is a
Probably.
beacon of
there's buckyball beacons and all of that, and you can get missions to all these different types of beacons, and you scan them, so you may as well read them while you're there, because it's not like we're not in Horizon Zero Dawn. You're not opening a book every time you read a bit of information.
Can I take it back to Mass Effect for a second?
Nope.
Please.
You're not reading a book, or you're not reading a huge amount, like a swathe of lore whenever you open a bit of information, but it's a good way to become more familiar with the universe that we're in.
Do you know what I'd love to see, actually? Because this is how they did it the first time, is they put a call out on the forums for locations, and they turned a lot of them into the tourist beacons that we all know and love. So a lot of the text, quite a lot of the text is written by the community, suggesting interesting places. I would love to see them do that again now that we have Odyssey, because there are stunning locations on, atmospheric planets. Not to mention that all the locations that the community highlighted for tourist beacons for Odyssey are now not there, because the planets all got regenerated. So all the tourist beacons are in completely the wrong places, showcasing highlights that don't exist. So it would be really nice to do it again and have people suggest planetary locations for another few hundred.
Yeah.
Anyway, just my suggestion. How hard can it be? Just a bunch of tourist beacons.
Well, they've done it before. I'm sure. I'm sure in their last wave of before we hand over everything to the people. I'm going to keep saying this.
Yeah.
Before we hand over the running of the game to the community, and Claire skips off into the distance, not doing anything else, not playing anything else in this game. Then I think they might do another one. Go like, are there pretty places? Are there important places to you? I'll just end up logging in once in a blue moon and go and seeing my station. I got what I wanted, and I know that sounds really stupid, selfish, but I got what I wanted, so I'm fine.
Yeah. Right then. We've been round everybody, so I guess we could start talking, looking at what the. So. Claire,
We definitely could. Now, this was the quickest response I think we've ever had to any question of the week at any time, because she knew I was posting it, and it was from Katie Anna, who said, "Let me be the first to say Panther Clipper." Now we've got that out of the way. I think it'll be a Viper Mark 5. I don't know what it entails, but I think it'll be that.
So,
Oh, go on then, Ben.
No, you say your thing, and then I'll come over with Safia.
Well, if it's the Viper Mark 5, we might as well have the Cobra Mark 5, which is exactly the same as the Cobra Mark 4, but everyone can have one.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the rage, the salt?
Oh god, I suggested that on the forums.
Salt having a shitty ship.
Oh, I've mentioned that on the forums, and it was just like, hello, let's just open this can of worms again.
Poke the bear, Colin.
Ah, yes, right. Okay, Ben, your turn.
Okay, so Safia's saying something that can compete with the Anaconda and Phantom in long jump range for exploration. Follows the design philosophy of Guatemala.
Yes, another one who can't mispronounce.
It could have been worse. Could have been guacamole.
I mean, it would just be green.
Any colour you want, as long as it's green. Guatemala Side Kruger, and preferably adds the ability to scan multiple plants. Hey, why would the ship have the ability to scan multiple
planets? Probably it's planets. I
Might
don't
be planets.
know. I have copied and pasted that. I did not write it.
I mean, Safia does like scanning plants, but I can't.
I mean, I would love the ability for a, God help me, engineered thing for my plant scanner to scan multiple plants.
Mm.
You know,
that's not a we're gonna get a plant scanner Mark B.
Well, what
that's
I'm thinking
what we
is,
want.
you know, like how we get out and we go out on foot, and we've got this stupid little handheld Dyson thing that we point at a leaf.
Yeah.
Surely it would be much quicker to just point at the entire planet from space with a ship that had an ultra mega plant scanner and just go, "Wah!" and then it just come back in 5 seconds.
Yeah, but you're not going wah. You're going nom nom nom. Let me have a look at you.
You've scanned all 5 samples of, scanned 15 samples in 2 seconds.
It's just got a hose on the bottom. It's just got a hose on the bottom that scoops up.
Oh God damn it! I'm not
bacteria
thinking
from the
Spaceballs. No, we've got a plant Hoover from Spaceballs.
That's it.
Right then.
Alec, why don't you tell us about LCU?
Oh, sorry. What does LCU want? LCU wants the Thread Snake, a small, fast ship, not much bigger than fighter, with overpowered engines and jump capability, making it the fastest, most maneuverable ship in the galaxy. Something with a big jump range, but in a small package. Big ships are not great for exobiology.
I can see where he's gone with this.
Yeah. Of course, if the spawn distances were improved, it would be a different story.
Obviously, to me, that says that the Eagle Mark 4 or 5 or whatever the version it is.
Yeah, what is the one we've got?
With a massive jump range on it.
Yeah.
They just call it the Eagle now because it used to be the Eagle Mark 3.
I thought it was Mark 2.
No, the Mark II was in Frontier First Encounters.
Okay.
The Mark III is supposed to be this Eagle with its Imperial variant, which is faster but only in a straight line. It's not as maneuverable.
It is sexier though.
I will admit, I do prefer the look of the eagle, the Imperial Eagle, to the standard eagle.
Boost sound as well.
And it doesn't
let's-
sound like a dead cat being strangled.
Which one's that?
Dolphin.
People love the dolphin.
I love the dolphin, but it still sounds like a cat being strangled.
People love the dolphin's noise. The boost noise. Maybe they also enjoy the sound of cats being strangled.
I'm not
I
familiar
like.
with it, to be honest.
I mean, what you get up for the weekend. It's no business of mine.
I like cats, but I suspect my mother-in-law would probably approve of strangled cats.
That says a lot more about you than we really want to know. Shall we move on? We've got Frank87. He goes, how about a vehicle for Odyssey? Like a bicycle? We know
speeder bicycle.
Speeder bike. Yes, it's a speeder bike. I will definitely agree with, because we've discussed it before. Just take a skimmer, put a blooming pod on it for the person to have, and zip about on that, and they're as fragile as they come, but fun to fly. That's what that's what Ben wants.
You're right.
And, yeah.
Commander Homburger says that they would like the Saud-Kruger Narwhal, a passenger transport that doubles as an anti-Thargoid vessel. No hard points, but it does have a tough, long, sharp horn to skewer any Xenos it boosts into.
I like that.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Yeah, and of course it's
There's a bit
corrosion
more to
resistant.
that, isn't there?
Needless to say, the whole ship is corrosion resistant.
Yeah. Can it fly underwater? That'd be
It's
nice.
it genuine. People complain about the combat being jousting in Elite Dangerous. This is genuinely a jousting ship.
Legitimately jousting.
I love the idea of a melee ship.
A melee ship, yes.
The I tell you what's funny. I tell you what Frontier go when they release the novel. They go, "Oh, I hear you like jousting, so here, have some jousting with your jousting." Perfect.
What more could we need?
How hard can it be?
You get an engineer to make its horn longer.
The marketing writes itself. In fact, hey, Quiz Mark 4. How about we just make one?
Right. Zulu Romeo is saying, still waiting on an Ask Scout balance pass that has been suggested a few times, mostly by myself.
Yeah, well, the Asp Scout. I'm surely something must be done about the Asp Scout.
What's broken about the Scout?
I was going to say, what's the commonly accepted thing that needs balancing about it?
No, it just needs to be better.
Okay, so
all ships. You could argue that all ships need to be better in some way. Shall we make all of the ships better?
No,
and how would you go about that? I don't know. Just better them. Click the make them better button.
Yeah, we don't make them better button.
Oh, the Asp Scout just needs something to make it pop. I mean, you got the Diamondback Explorer. That's got something.
I've got something that make it pop. It's called a multi-cannon.
And that's what it's technically used. No, don't be, because to tell you the truth, at the moment, that ship is trash. It deserves to go pop. And I think Frontier needs to do something to make people not want to pop it, if you see what I mean.
I hear good things about the Asp Scout for certain things. I can't remember what certain things, but
You see, that's the point. If you could remember what the Asp Scout was supposed to be good for, you'd remember it.
Yes, so it's good. I
cruise
can't remember what it is for.
maneuverability is really good or something.
Yeah, I
Isn't
mean,
it
I
really
know.
cool
I've
running?
always, I like the Asp Explorer, and I love the Asp Explorer, but I never could bring myself to sort of look at an Asp Scout, frankly.
I don't think it's cold running. I don't think that's the thing. It might be super cruise maneuverability, but there are other ships like the Python Mark II is really good in super cruise maneuverability, and I think the Dolphin is really good in super cruise maneuverability as well. I don't know necessarily that it's worth getting an Asp Scout for super cruise maneuverability when there are other ships that do better.
I seem to recall the Asp Scout has done quite well at certain buckyball races.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
appreciate
right.
that niche.
Mm.
Anyway, the Dallas Scott. I was. This is Chris Murphy. I was contemplating doing this in an accent, but I'm not going to.
I'm so pleased.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Just get the other Chris to say it, read it out, because basically it sound the same.
No, let's not do that.
Let me just read it out.
All you Chris's sound the same to me.
Anyway, we've had 2 medium ships in a row, so I'm wondering if we'll get a new small fighter. A Vulture, ? Eagle, ? What will set them apart? Electric seat warmers. Also, they'll look cool. Love the designs of the new ships. Vulture. A Vulture Mark II, would it be?
Yeah, Vulture Mark II. I could see. I've got Siley Resin, hoping for a super low temperature ship, one that at full boost and hard points deploys gets no higher than 18% heat. Something proper stealthy. I propose the Cobra Mark V.
I thought you'd like this one, Colin.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm being threatened by the Chris Collective now. What?
Richard Bentley has said Panther Clipper, long overdue, maybe for larger surface ports only though. A medium-sized passenger ship. A mink, perhaps?
Where does that come from?
I'd like to see them make a Merlin fighter. They were great in Frontier, but there were a lot of small ships in the game already. When we went through our big list of ships...
We did, and the Merlin fighter itself is disgustingly ugly.
Yeah, I mean, they were all ugly in that game, though, Colin. These are all graphics. Think of all the greebles you can put on a Merlin.
The Merlin was specifically ugly. I remember that the guys that John and Oliver who do the RPG, right? They specifically put it in for because the Merlin is part of escape velocity, and they put it in, and they went, if we'd known how it looked that bad, we wouldn't have put it in. Because it's only after they worked out what the dimensions were and how it looked in the blueprint, they went, God, that looks awful.
Yeah, I'm just googling some pictures of it now, and
it's not nice.
No, I know that the only reason that Chris chose it is because he's a Blake 7 fan and he wanted those a tri-wing design,
yeah.
And that's the only one they had in the game that was that size. And I thought, oh, Chris should have chosen a different ship.
Right, so Commander Simon is saying a dedicated explorer may be cool running with a very long jump range, even when knitted out properly, even when kitted out properly, not a paper build. Fourth ship could be a new SRV, maybe one that hovers. Actually, the fourth ship would almost certainly be a Cobra Mark V, just because. Maybe the kind of wireframe appearance with exposed... Oh, I like that. A wireframe appearance with exposed externals. I like the idea. I like the idea of a, here's a ship without its armor, essentially.
Actually, think about it. We've already got a different Cobra in the game.
Hmm.
That's Jameson's crashed Cobra.
We do. I wonder if that could be expanded.
I wonder if they could take that and make that a flyable ship.
Mm-hmm. That would be interesting.
Yeah, because it's got one large hard point at the front.
Is it thought to be an older model than what we have, or something
It's based on the original Cobra from the first Elite because it's got the one gun at the front.
From a door.
Can you imagine if they also gave it the ones at the side and rear? Yeah, as turrets, essentially.
That'd be good.
Damn it! Oh, could you imagine if they brought, instead of bring back the original Cobra Mark III?
Yeah, I suppose that's interesting. The classic Cobra.
Yeah. Sorry.
So never mind. Didn't somebody say I missed the opportunity to comment on this? I'm just reading, but didn't somebody say like an Imperial Explorer, which would kind of tick two
Yeah, I
boxes
did.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, it's me. I'm reading ahead. Sorry, it's me. Anthony Hunt says, still want the Imperial Explorer and the Panther Clipper.
Amazing. I love the fact that.
I read it somewhere.
No, I read it somewhere. I've literally just read it. Brilliant.
We pay attention to the script, don't we? All the notes.
I am beginning to this because the crew is so old. I am beginning to start worrying about dementia with some of us, to be honest.
Yeah. When I do a bite and just like freeze for 20 seconds, that's when you really need to worry.
That's okay. We'll send you to Switzerland, right?
She's a killer, mate.
Kilt 801. Zorgon Peterson's debut of the Boomslang Explorer / Hunter. You have a single huge hardpoint strapped to an engine with a cockpit that would make your asp blush. And if that's not sweet enough, active camo for 20 seconds. So basically a cloaking device with a big gun. That's very Romulan.
Yeah.
Sure, Misery Cord says the obvious role left is Explorer, but I'm going to hold out hope that the fourth reveal will be a new hybrid technology hull, something Guardian or Goid based. Would be keen.
Oh, that would be interesting. Do you want your hybrid Thargoid fighter right now?
Yeah, we've only got Guardian fighter.
It wouldn't be a new mark, though, would it?
No, it'd have to be a variant of something.
Yeah.
I mean,
the variant of a Guardian.
We get a Thargon variant. Who would see that coming?
I mean, going back to the boomslanger thing, he's just saying a huge single hardpoint with an engine and a cockpit. Right, okay. Where do you sleep? Where do you relieve?
In the cockpit. You pee in the suit like the spacemen do.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be there for absolutely weeks at a time.
Yeah.
That's going to be a minging cockpit at the end of it.
Just like the ISSs. I'm loving the idea of a Thargon or like a Thargoid Scout Mark 1.
Yeah, it'd be difficult to fly because they're always spinning round.
Well, that would be why it's a Mark 1, so we shove a couple of engines and make it human compatible. Anyway, it's not going to happen, but I love the idea. Anyway, Commander Stray is saying, feels like the manufacturers in the galaxy are switching it up a bit. Switching it up. DeLacy brought us a combat specialist with the Mark II. Lacon in a multi-purpose trader with the Type 8. Maybe Guatemala releases a medium explorer. Sorry, I did that deliberately. I know.
That's what you say, yes.
Yeah. I was waiting for you lot to say something and nobody
I
did.
believe you thousands wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm glad. Maybe Guatemala releases a medium imp explorer and Core Dynamics a multi-purpose ship. Let's just get out of there. Are you deliberately making me say Guatemala?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of you make me say words that I can't say.
Say it
most
properly.
Oh yeah, have you seen who I've got to pronounce for my guy next? Thanks. Thanks a bunch.
Perfect.
Mixiplex 73, I think.
Nope.
No.
Right.
Meanwhile, Alec.
Yes. Barn of the Dinosaur says, I want a medium Guatemala roughly competitive with the Phantom, but SEO stable and named the Imperial Caravel. You know, the thing we should have had instead of the Clipper in the first place.
Is that true?
Don't know. Don't remember law in that regard. Colin?
I don't know enough Imperial lore.
The thing about the Imperial Clipper was that everybody didn't care about the Imperial Clipper because everyone wanted the Imperial Courier. Because in the previous Frontier and Frontier First Encounters games, it was the Imperial Courier, which was the awesome ship.
Yeah.
When it came out in Elite Dangerous, it wasn't
Courier
what
was
people.
shit.
Yeah, it wasn't what people were expecting, and the closest we got to it was the Imperial Clipper.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like they misnamed those two ships.
Oh,
Just got them the wrong way around.
completely agree with that because everyone when the Elite was coming up and it's going through the Kickstarter, everyone's going, "Oh, okay, well, have you got something for the Imperial Clipper? I want to see the Imperial Clipper," and bleh,
Did the Courier and the Clipper come out at the same time, or were they there at the beginning of the game, or was because I wasn't around during the very beginning?
The Courier came
What
out.
to say, were they both out at the same time? They were both out very early on.
Yeah, it was the second round of ships, I think, and everyone was really looking forward to it. And then when they were actually released, everyone went, "Oh."
I really like the Clipper, but I don't see a need for it being in the game.
Oh, I like the Clipper because it's a good multi-rule ship, and it looks a lot prettier than the other multi-rule ships.
I have to admit, I flew. I could never get behind the Python Mark 1. You know, I just couldn't get behind it, so I did fly the Clipper for a wee while. Instead of basically going the Python route.
I used to use my Clipper for mining, actually, but
it's actually good for a couple of things. Mining's one of them. I find actually it was the ship I became a triple elite in because it's very good at taking on scouts. If you put a couple of anti-Xeno turrets on the end with a couple of the Guardian rail cannons at the front, it can go through scouts very, very nicely. And I found it really good as a bomber, a Titan bomber.
It's really nice to fly. I mean, because I flew one in the recent Buckyball, which I haven't known. I haven't flown it for a while, and I loved it. Actually, I really enjoyed being back in that cockpit. It was great.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I have Mixel Pixel 73. Customizable ship-launched fighters. Imagine zooming around an asteroid with mining lasers / abrasing blasters, while your Titan 96 back with a dozen limpets picking up materials.
That'd be nice.
Well, how many years have we been waiting for something like that?
Yeah, I could get behind that idea.
It's been a requested feature for absolutely ages, but I don't see them putting it in as a variant.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love that though. I'd like.
I'd love it.
It's not a variant ship, but you know
how. I don't want to say how hard would it be though.
Probably really difficult.
A ship launched miner.
I've got a question. I seem to recall, it might even have been you, Claire, on a stream or something, that somebody spotted when we destroyed the first Titan, and then the cloud cleared, and we could go into the cloud and start salvaging bits off the Titan wreckage. The very first day when people were streaming that, and I think people discovered that if you used, I think it was the abrasion blaster, then you got more reward, but you could actually shoot the bits off with anything. Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
It almost certainly wasn't me because I haven't done very much of it at all.
I think any kind of weapon would do to shoot bits off the wreckage floating. Anyway, where my mind was going was I wonder if anyone's taken a ship launch fighter to do salvaging in a Titan cloud by using their ship launch fighter to fly around, knocking all the bits off while their
so
main
you got
ship
your mothership with the gatherers.
Set your limpets off, then launch a ship launch fighter and nip around in that, knocking bits off the Titan wreckage.
How long did limpets stay out for?
I don't know.
5. You can get one. I think A-rated are 5 minutes. I think.
They do last a while.
That might work. That might work.
Yeah,
it sounds more interesting than doing it a normal way.
I'm sure it's not
fun.
a meta way of doing it, but it sounds like an interesting thing to
I like the idea.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. We've got Nicey Yee who says, can we please have another exploration ship, maybe a medium Imperial? Nothing says style more than exploration in an Imperial ship. We can call the Imperial Chopper.
I was with it until the name.
Until the name, like, it was great. It was great. It was solid, and then Chopper.
Yeah, it doesn't scream Empire to me.
Yeah, they got Midnight Surfer wrong. Right.
You just want some bicycle cars in the back.
Ben?
Anyway, Osilrun is saying an Asp Scout Mark II, and it'll fill the role of not useless.
Oh, that's asking too much.
Like Ada all over again. Right, go on. Like,
Rocky Star says Mark II could be like the Dolphin medium ship, big jump range, big fuel scoop, big fuel tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, a medium
Medium,
passenger
please.
liner is needed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of Imperial Explorer kind of thing, and this sort of fits that as well. Yeah.
I like this one from Ched's Will. A Sidewinder Mark II that can dock in a fighter bay or jump around in the galaxy on its own and land on planets. The Anaconda Mark II, fatter with way more internals and just a bit of a more barge to fly.
We don't need another Anaconda.
Can you get a more bargey barge?
Can we? Can you? Is there a bigger bin that we can put the Anaconda Mark II into? Is there the availability for that? I don't know if we need another one. Commander Snails! More of a wish list than I think we'll get. We could do with a medium pad Saul Kruger ship. You right. The jump from Dolphin to Orca at the moment is too large. So maybe the Super Dolphin Mark II. That sounds like it belongs in Sailor Moon. But I'd also like a mini Asp. Tiny footprint, but excellent canopy views for plant spotting. So the all-new Asp Mini. What about a mini Diamondback? A Diamondback Dinky, please.
Dinky.
We have a Diamondback with a big scoop, please.
Yeah, big fuel, just like a specialist fuel scoop drive, please. Thank you. It's just a fuel scoop with a canopy. That's all we need.
Okay, then. Finally, Ben.
Yeah, so last but not least, we have Steak Typhoon. If Dolphin is a sedan, the Orca is a limo, and the Beluga a party bus, we need a van. A medium-sized Saud Kruger. Whatever ship we get, I hope it'll have noticeably different orbital cruise characteristics, such as a smoother glide or increased yaw in tenuous atmosphere. Or a small federal ship. There we go, someone who's not Imperial.
So rounding up, we want an Explorer.
Yes.
We want an Imperial Explorer, but make it from South Kruger, right?
But
Which basically means a lot of people do use the passenger ships as explorers, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Because they're
They do.
pretty, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I explore an Imperial Clipper, because it's a nice ship to look at when you land on the planet.
They look decent screenshots.
It's the whole reason why you run FemShip.
Yeah, exactly. She looks good enough. It's not just it is just for. But they look good in pictures.
That is important. I mean,
yeah,
to a lot of people.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the Type 8.
I am actually running Manship.
Look at the Type 8 now. It's so pretty, and it's gonna look glorious in these screenshots that we start taking to get them. Also, the Python, the Python Mark II, those ship kits that we've got, the ship kits and the paint jobs that they've brought out for it already, they're arguably very nice looking, and it's nice looking on its own as well. These ships look good. They're doing a very good job. More, please, Frontier, especially given the fact that you're not doing any more story. Put more into ships.
We're gonna have to put that on the bingo card, aren't we?
I'm being a rascal.
Definitely. Right. Let's just quickly touch on any other business. So, if the Commander Bo Bark is listening, you won the ED Copilot time trial billion credit prize draw. So, if you could please get in contact with Razafrag on the ED Copilot Discord server, you can claim your prize.
Yeah.
And Psychic, you've got one.
Hey, folks.
Yes,
Did you enjoy Deliver Us the Moon?
I did.
Did you enjoy Deliver Us Mars?
Haven't played it yet.
Okay, well, you should, because it's excellent. So, with that in mind, today, literally today, the Kickstarter for the third in the trilogy, Deliver Us Home, was announced. It is already... I'm so proud of them. It's already nearly 20% complete, and it opened like 5.5 hours ago. I'm so proud of them. I love Kirkin so much. They are such gems of beautiful human beings, like Paul and it'll come to me. They just such the two of them are so lovely. They had to let go almost all of their team because they couldn't find a publisher for the game. They have gone as far as kickstarting their project. We don't very often put things that aren't Elite Dangerous related into the show notes. If you want to take a look at this, there is a link in the show notes because it means so much to me, and I did the show notes. So it's going in. Please give it a look. They are an excellent, beautiful group of games with some wonderful performances, and the story is absolutely beautiful. So please consider.
Well, at the moment, I must admit that I've thoroughly enjoyed Deliver Us the Moon. I'm really, when I get a chance, I'll do Deliver Us Mars. I found Deliver Us the Moon frustrating to start with, but once I got what they were trying to do with it, I finally got into the swing of it, and yeah, really enjoyed it. And it was genuinely exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, where Deliver of the Moon like really pulls at your heartstrings. Deliver Us Mars goes, oh, you won't be needing that anymore. It rips out your heart, squeezes it, stamps on it a few times, and then sends you crying for days upon end. Or maybe that's just me. Phenomenal game, phenomenal storytelling. Please, if you have a little bit of availability, the early game edition that they have still has thousands of spots available, and you can like support it and also get the whole game for 17 quid, which is a fucking bargain. I'll stop with my elevator pitch now. I've gone over an elevator pitch, but you know.
Yeah, I know. Right. Well, if that's the case, we'll start with we'll end with our shout outs. So, our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you want just the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout outs to the following other Elite Dangerous podcasts. So we've got the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well, and also for Loose Screws, who for some reason this time decided to do an impersonation of Winston Churchill, only it sounded more like Calculon from Futurama. I honestly thought he was doing an impression from Futurama. Also, if you speak French...
Oh no, I just let the funky music do the talking.
There is, of course, the wonderful Elite Dangerous podcast as well. So following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest that's provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd like to thank all those who have been chipping in on the Twitch chat. And the in-game commanders that we've had have just been Commander Real Merle, Siberius, and Andy Sharp 42. Special thanks, of course, goes to Commander Tokoso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that we use on the show. So that's it for this episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us in the contact links in the home Contact Us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
Thanks to Claire.
Demo is one letter away from demon. Pray for me.
And thanks to Ben.
Thank you, Commander Russet Miles, for ganking me on the way into Shinata Desra. You twat.
You had it coming. You had it coming. It's not a gank if it's in Shindes and you're in open, bitch. That's what happens.
Yeah, welcome to Shinata Desra in open. Hey, it's the first time that's happened to me for ages, so, fair play.
Dead
and I
game,
got
though,
away
innit,
once. Hey, yeah,
Oh,
no
he's
one's
dead,
playing
isn't he?
here. Yeah, I'm dead, yeah.
He's dead. And special thanks, of course, to today's tech specialist. That would be the Chris Mark 5.
It's emergent gameplay, mate.
Hey, I'm all for emerging gameplay, so I am not salty.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, well, that's dangerous. That's Ben for you.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word.
Space can be done.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Galnet News Update, 11th of June 3310. The Thargoids' apparent weakness in recent weeks means they are preparing something devastating, according to the Imperial liaison to Aegis. And Dr. Ivano Columbera added that if we don't bring the Thargoid War to a speedy conclusion, we're likely to suffer the consequences of some sort of devastating counter-strike. The Thargoids seem to have lost the initiative in their struggle to maintain a fleet of Titan hive ships on the fringes of the human bubble. 4 of the original 8 Titans have been destroyed, and progress is well underway to isolate Titan Indra in preparation for its destruction. It has become noticeably easier to head off Thargoid invasions, and it appears that the Thargoids have lost interest in reinforcing the spire sites that have been helping the Thargoids maintain their span of control. Aegis says that it would be very wrong to take this as a sign that the Thargoids are preparing to retreat. In the view of the Tri-Superpower Anti-Xeno Agency, the Thargoids are likely to have reduced their defensive efforts to help prepare for a new chapter in the war, possibly to reinforce the 4 remaining Titans, or possibly to unleash some new terror upon humanity. It has now been 18 months since the 8 Titans arrived. Are we really to believe that the Thargoids haven't been working on developing newer, more fearsome technology during those intervening months? The advice from Dr. Columbera is to work fast and to finish the Thargoids off before they have time to regroup.